Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today, finally, I'm going to do a video going through the stages of the Break Through the Super Armor event. This is basically just like a reskin, like different version of the Bardock Break Through the Siege event that we got last year for the Worldwide Download Celebration. Basically, you have 5 mono stages where you will have to fight multiple waves of the Cyclopean Guards. You only get a certain number of turns, and then the idea is obviously to kill all of them within that turn limit. So basically what that means is you want to be bringing AoE units or units that can do multiple like additional super attacks built in, and of course you want to bring the most powerful units possible. The final phase you only get, I believe, the 1 turn to take out all 5 of the enemies. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump in and I'm going to do each of the 5 stages, and then hopefully, I don't know how long the video is going to end up being, but I'll try and show a couple of runs if possible, if the teams have like multiple different AoE units or other units that would be very good to use in the event. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the first one, and let's get all these missions done. Okay, so we're jumping straight in for the versus physical, so using a full STR team. Unfortunately, the friend system in the game at the moment is going to cause huge issues with this mission, I think, because ideally I wanted to bring an LR Broly friend, run double LR Broly leads, but of course I couldn't find an LR Broly anywhere. So we have the Fat Boo as an AoE unit. We have the double Cooler leads. Now, obviously, Cooler can potentially do a ton of additional attacks, so he can be fine even without the fact that he's not technically an AoE unit. Yeah, so we can't even get a super attack. He's not on the leader skill. So I think this one is going to be a lot of this is going to come down to the friend system for all of the stages. Now, obviously, in the early phases here, we're pretty much relying like Broly's just going to kill everybody, right? The final turn is going to be the one that is actually going to be like the tricky one, right? And then even though obviously we're not using a we're not really using any super type units on the team, I did bring the Kabe just because he orb changes. So obviously any extra orbs we can get is going to be for the better. Can't get the super with him, but that's fine. So we'll just do this. And then we'll do this. So the coolers with all their additionals should be enough to finish off all of these guys. I guess we're going to find out, right? Because it's not like we have a ton of links active. We're not getting any support. But I did find a rainbow cooler friend. My cooler is rainbow. So yeah, normal attack crits, it needs 2 to take out one of them. So that means unless we get super lucky here, we might not take them all out. Although, to be fair, we got enough additionals that 1 cooler took out 3 of the enemies. So, I mean, ideally, we wouldn't want both the coolers on the same turn, but here's what it is. So, this cooler should now be able to finish off the last guys. Because at least as long as he gets the super, he kills one of them, right? So then it's just down to your RNG additional. Because you see there, like, he didn't crit, so he didn't do half of the HP damage. But then we did get the additional supers. So now we're going to have Broly again. Obviously, ideally, the reason why you want to have the 2 Brolys is, of course, then you can get the multiple... you can have one on both rotations and just get constant, like, super attacks. So we'll do this, and then we'll do this. Because remember, Broly is always going to double super. And then Teles is just kind of left to potentially mop up the rest. If you can get the 24 key... then obviously he has the built-in chance to additional. So that could also come in like quite handy if you're not able to kill all of them in the 1 turn. Because Broly should still kill everybody here. Like, Broly obviously is the MVP for the physical stage. The only problem is only having 1. We didn't have him on rotation for this turn. So this is the... is this the last one? No, we have 6 charges remaining. So I don't think this is the last one. So what we want to do here is we want to go... Now, you can use items. I should have used one of these straight away, because the 5 turns attack buff, that's obviously going to last you basically the whole event. And then you have the Lemo is the STR orb... Wow, that did actually nothing. The STR orb changer that then adds the extra attack per orb obtained. Jeez, that's awful. Alright, well, we'll do this, because we know we don't really need to get like a big damage buff for Cooler. So we'll do the AoE first, and then usually, well, I say usually, what that should mean is the AoE, even if it doesn't get any kills, should hopefully weaken the enemies enough so that then the attacks from Cooler, I say that, but Boo with no leader skill just sucks apparently. So, I guess never mind. 6.5 for Cooler. So it's all down to, we should have done the orbs for Cooler really, because by using the nuking item on Cooler, it means that even his normal attacks would be ridiculously powerful if he was getting all of the power from the nuke item. He is getting the buff from the attack up from Bulma, so wow, he's going off. Now the only problem is, we need him to kill everyone on this turn, realistically, because then Broly can kill everybody on the other turn. Oh, he survived with the tiny sliver. I think this is the final attack. That's super, super unfortunate, because I think maybe Hit would have even finished that guy off. Oh, apparently we didn't get all the... Okay, so Cooler is just an absolute beast for this event. Look at him. He's just going absolutely crazy on these guys. Alright, well, there you go. So then we get the good RNG. We've got Cooler on rotation with Broly. So ideally we want, I guess, Broly to super first. You only have Fierce Battle and Legendary Power. But, oh yeah, we'll definitely put you in the last slot there then. So this means we get double supers with Broly. We get the 18 key super with Turles, and then on the off chance that anybody is somehow still alive at the end of the turn, we've got LR Cooler to dish out the multiple attacks. So this was the first attempt at the physical stage, and even though things didn't really go like perfectly, we smashed it out thanks to just how ridiculous some of these extreme STR units are. So we had a bare minimum amount of health left survival, and then... Was it only the ones that didn't crit? Yeah, like barely survived. So then Broly finishes them off. So there you go. That is all of the enemies taken out for the STR one. STR one, definitely the easiest one if you have Broly. You just have to kind of make sure you get him on rotation for that final phase. So if you are able to find an LR Broly friend, obviously you could still run Cooler as the lead if you have him, because one of his leader skills is movie bosses. And then, yeah, bring your own LR Broly, and he is going to... run absolutely rampage over these guys. So that is the STR one done. Well, we're on to the AGL now, so versus STR. Very surprised I actually managed to find an LR Majin Vegeta friend. Although, unfortunately, they're both on the next rotation. Now, I brought the AGL Trunks along, just because he's another unit, like, has a bunch of built-in additional attacks, so he can potentially mop up... like what's left of the enemies after we get our AoEs off. So I think, based on the number of turns, if we float the other Majin Vegeta off on this next turn, we should at least have one of them on the final turn. And then, of course, apparently I completely forgot that it's the 12 key super with Nappa and Vegeta that is the AoE. So don't make that mistake. Now, fortunately, Turles getting the additional, and then obviously the fact that Trunks is going to do multiple attacks, we will be able to finish this first phase. So the first turn, you know, you can kind of get away with the odd bungle or two. But, yeah, because Trunks should kill with one hit, and then gets his additionals. Normal attack was almost enough, yeah. So he gets 2 guaranteed additional normal attacks anyway, even with, like, the worst RNG. So... that's obviously worked out quite nicely. Now, this Frieza is an AoE unit. How do we do this here? Because we can't get the 18 key super. This is the worst part about this setup, is we did not get a good rotation here whatsoever. So, I'm not sure if we actually will be able to do this one as well. We'll see how much damage Frieza does, because obviously on the earlier rotations, you know, the enemies are weaker. For the early ones. It's the last one that really proves to be the difficult one, and that's the one you want to save your items for. And even though I'm literally recording this straight after the physical one that I just did, I forgot to use the attack up item again. So it is what it is. For the first couple of phases, I guess, as long as you can do it in 2 turns, it doesn't matter, right? Because you get the turn counter. Majin Vegeta's only getting the 12 key supers. They're obviously going to finish off whoever they're attacking. And then, yeah. Now we have the support with this guy. And now we've got too much support on the rotation, though, so we literally can't get the 12 key super. Ah, good times. Alright, so how do we do this? Do we actually... Can we even finish anybody off on this turn? I'm not actually sure. I think it all is going to come down to whether we get additionals or not. So I guess we will see. But fortunately, again, in this early phase, it's not like we have to do everything in one turn. And now we can set up... I think the orbs... Did the orbs change? I actually didn't notice from the last time we moved phases. So set up all those AGL orbs just in case. Plus, this does give us a chance, I guess, to get Margin Vegeta back onto rotation because we had to float off that other one. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but we're going to need to get lucky with the additionals if we actually want to win on this turn. That was so close. Alright, well, Rildo's going to finish him off. Rildo could get an additional, I guess, but I'm pretty sure my Rildo is only 55%. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this. I guess we'll just... The orbs do... no, we're still in the same phase. Alright, well, grab all of these and then crack on, I guess. So I'm going to use the attack up item now, since I should have used it already anyway. And then, yeah, Margin Vegeta is obviously just going to finish this last guy off here. And if not, Trunks definitely would. So, I mean, you can kind of see in these early phases, you do get a little bit of leeway, because we definitely did not have, like, a stellar run here. And we are absolutely still on track. So, this phase, we still get 2 turns. Nappa and Vegeta, yeah, we're going to have them floated off, because they link too well to actually be able to get all the finishes. To be able to get their 12-key super. So we need to make sure that we actually do have 1 orb spare for them. So we'll do this, and then, yeah, we have this orb at the bottom. So with double AoEs on this turn, we should be looking good. And then we've saved our Chilai items for the final stage, where we do only get the 1 turn. Margin Vegeta will be back on the rotation. I think next turn, yeah, is going to be the rotation where we have the Rildo as well. So extreme AGL 50%. If you have those 50% supports, now is the event where you want to be cracking those guys out, because obviously the getting all that extra attack support, as well as the fact that they change orbs, is obviously hugely beneficial. So go ahead and do this. Then we get the AoE, full 24 key. I mean, we could have put Margin Vegeta first, but I wanted to make sure we got as much key as possible. And so we should be good here. I wonder, does Trunks one-shot with his super attack at this point? No. And wow, the additional normal didn't finish him off without a crit. So Trunks maybe not so good. I put him on the team to see if he would be a nice little, like, sweeper. But just to clean up, you know, what's left after a potential AoE. Even with the additional normal being a crit, he didn't finish off that guy. So I guess he's not the most optimal power-wise. I think, is mine 90% or is mine Rainbow already? So obviously this isn't his best, you know, setup. Margin Vegeta lead is only 120. But here we go. This is actually a very good rotation for this, because we have the Freezer as well in the final slot. So we can go ahead and do this. Get the massive buff for our boy Margin Vegeta, and then if I grab this, come on, you got to change the STR orbs. We probably don't even need it, right? Margin Vegeta is probably just going to kill. I don't know. Good times. He gets a small attack buff at least, I guess. But Margin Vegeta, yes, 7 million attack stat thanks to the Chilai item. So that should be everybody just okay. Well, 17 million crit, that's pretty good. So Margin Vegeta, definitely the MVP. Basically, the strategy, as you can tell from this already, is you just want to be able to have a powerful AoE unit on both rotations, and then it's only the final phase where you have to kill them all in 1 turn. And so that's where you bust out your massive, like, nuke items, and then you should be able to finish it off relatively easily. The only problem is going to come when you only have 1 really good AoE unit, and then you're going to have to play the rotations very carefully to make sure that you actually get that unit in the final turn. So there you go. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so physical versus int. This one should be a stomp. I've brought, like, all the good AoE units on the team. Cell, the second form Freezer, Broly. We've got Omega Shenron, because he can do a bunch of additional super attacks. And then, of course, we do have Badits on the team as well. But, you know, hopefully he'll be okay. Right, so we can get the AoE here. We can get the AoE for you. Doesn't matter how many orbs we pick up, so there's obviously no point. I didn't use the attack up item again. I'm so used to not using items in events, but fortunately, on the first turn, even if Cell doesn't kill everyone, Raditz should be able to finish off the last of these guys. Because the first turn really ain't all that. Now, with the physical one, you have to be careful how you play the turn with the orbs and everything. Because remember, Cell, much like the Nappa and Vegeta, his 12 key super is the AoE. So if you try doing the like nuke strategy where you're using the your like orb changing items, then obviously he's going to get his 18 key super, and then you're not going to get the massive buff that you're looking for. So I'm going to float Broly off. Now Broly, there is a strategy just like last year's event where you can reverse Broly to his SSR form. So what that means is that he never actually transforms into full power Broly, and so that means he constantly has an AoE. But I think this time around, with the fact that we now have a bunch of extra, like, powerful physical units, I didn't feel like I needed to do that for my run. But if you are struggling with this, then that is obviously something that I would recommend, is reversing Broly into being an SSR, and then you will be fine. So, right, you have Brutal Beatdown. Alright, we don't have the best setup here in terms of, like, links and everything, but we should still be good. I mean, we literally, this rotation is 3 AoE units, and we have our attack up item in play. So, if we somehow didn't kill everybody on this turn, I would be very, very surprised. We have the attack up item from the Bulma in effect. So, obviously, this is one of those items, one of those events where, I guess if you got, like, really lucky and got a good RNG, you could no-item this, maybe? But I don't see why you would even try, right? Like, when it comes to no-iteming difficult events, it's kind of like a challenge run type thing. But this kind of thing is literally just like a damage output simulator. So why you wouldn't give yourself the maximum advantage possible, I don't know. But there you go. Raditz comes in with the sweep. Very unusual for Raditz to actually be good, but there you go. So yeah, again, this is where you got to be careful about your team building, because I cannot get the 12 key super for Cell now. But fortunately, this is obviously a stage where we get multiple turns to kill the enemy. So I think what we want to do is do this, and then we just need to make sure that we have 1 orb spare for Cell in the final slot. So I can go ahead and do this. And then, yeah, we have this tech orb here for Cell. I'm just targeting different enemies just in case because of the additionals. Like, I would rather, for example, if Omega leaves one of them alive with a tiny sliver of health, I would rather the Super Buu attacks one of the other ones, because then, obviously, Physical Cell with his AoE is going to finish off the one that Omega left alive. So that's exactly what has happened here. One of them is still alive. Super Buu got a pretty decent amount of orbs. Will he kill? No, he did not do a lot of damage at all. And then Cell, I think the last phase, it seems like Cell is not really going to be enough to one-shot unless you're getting like crits or like good links and support. So Cell for the final stage of enemies, we are definitely going to have to bust out the item. So I think we're going to have second form Frieza on that final turn as well, so that's going to work out quite nicely. If we put Raditz in slot 1, he gets the guaranteed crit. So we'll go ahead and do this. Although, I think, do they only super attack or nothing? Because I swear some of these turns have gone by. I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention, but I swear some of these turns have gone by where it just looks like the enemy doesn't do anything. So this one's going to super attack. Is the other one going to do anything? Yeah, he did normal attack. I know, I must just be tripping, but this means that Raditz should be getting the guaranteed crit, right? I should have reread his passive, but against multiple enemies, he gets hit first. He gets guaranteed crit, yeah. So he finishes everybody off. And then I believe this is the final phase now. We got the support as well, so that is good. Yeah, we only have 3 charges. So I guess we might as well use the active skill for Frieza. I don't need to see the animation. Let me just make sure it's on skip. We use the active skill for second form Frieza. Didn't take one of them out, but that's fine. And then we'll go ahead and use the Tabura cookie. Oh, actually, if we just use the other one. There we go. I don't think the Bulma item has run out. Okay, yeah, good. It tells you if it hasn't, so that's fine. So we should just be getting the GG here with this. And since we will use the physical orb for Omega, because then he does technically get a little bit of extra attack. And then there you go. So this should be a wipe from Second Form Frieza, which as a free-to-play unit, that's obviously very good. The fact that if you're using the item, he could potentially wipe everybody. So is he going to? If he crits, he definitely is. But it looks like their HP's going down quickly enough, yep. Even with no crits, the free-to-play Second Form Frieza took everybody out thanks to those nuking-style items. So you definitely want to be using them, especially if you do have a slightly weaker variation of the team. And then they are going to be absolutely destroying everyone. So that works out quite nicely. So that is the versus int stage done. And we can go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so we're on to versus tech. So the int team. I feel like this one is going to be the hardest one. Because as you can see from the team build, like there's not a lot of units that actually even do like AoE attacks. The only real one we have is the Raditz. And then, of course, we have Majin Vegeta's active skill, but he has to be hit 6 times to be able to use it. And then we have Blue Evolution Vegeta's active skill, which we can use on turn 4. So I think we want to... Do we want to float him off now in order for him to be on rotation on the last turn? I think we do. But that's, of course, entirely based on the idea that we can actually one-shot this turn, which I don't even know if we can. So, obviously, Goku in slot 1 is going to get hit, which means he gets a guaranteed additional attack. So, hopefully, that's going to be enough. But obviously, again, like I said, the first phase, the enemies don't have as much HP. You get 3 turns to kill them all, so you shouldn't really struggle on the first phase, because even if you're literally only killing 1 enemy per attack with your units, you're going to kill them in 2 turns anyway. It's once you get to the 2 turns, you have to obviously be on point, and then the final one against when you only have 1 turn is where you've really got to be on it. And we could get unfortunate again. You've got to be thinking about how your rotations work out, like when you float people off, like what turn they're going to come back on, because obviously we really don't want to get to that final stage where we have to kill them all in 1 turn and we don't have like any AoE units on the rotation, because then we are solely relying on the luck of getting additional attacks with our units, which is obviously not what we want. So so we took them all out except for... Oh, okay, no, he has a tiny sliver of health. I see. I'm regretting never link leveling my Raditz now, I guess. But alright, so non-int units basically don't do any damage, but of course, because of the friend system, the only friend I could find for the team was a Super Vegeta, because the team is in fact all pure Saiyans. So that means we should be... you know, at least we're getting the better leader skill, because some of the other runs so far, we've been using these like AoE LRs as the leads, and they're only giving like a 120 leader skill. So at least on this setup, we are getting a higher lead. So if we attack the units in the last slot, that means that Vegeta's going to get hit, Majin Vegeta is going to get hit 3 times here. So that's obviously very good for the potential getting that active skill off. Because if we get Majin Vegeta on that final rotation with his active skill available, I'm pretty sure the final explosion would kill everybody. Because it gets guaranteed crits, I think, if I remember rightly. So mine is only 55% though. Obviously, if you have more dupes in your Majin Vegeta, then you're going to be more likely to... oh, of course, he dodged. Level 5 dodge. Int unit that needs to get hit in order to activate his active skill condition. And then he has level 5 dodge because he's an int unit. So... you love to see it. Alright, Namek Goku gets the additional. But yeah, I feel like this one is going to be very, very tricky. It's all going to come down to that final phase. Even the turn where you have 2 turns to kill them is not going to be too difficult. Because again, even if you don't get super lucky with additionals, you only need each of your units to kill 1 of the enemies and then you're fine. It's the final phase that's going to make all the difference. So, but we'll see what happens here. Ideally, I think the ideal is if we don't finish it off here, but then we do finish off like the next one, right? Because we're floating off the Vegeta. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to play out now. Do you have enough power here, Raditz? The problem is I actually kind of don't want to kill on this turn, right? Because if we kill everyone on this turn, we won't have any AoE units on the next turn, because Raditz... Majin Vegeta definitely has not been hit enough. So, we'll do this, and then we'll do... do this, I guess. Alright, so we still have 2 turns to kill these guys, so that's fine. As long as we kill everyone on the next turn, then we go into that final phase and we'll have Raditz on rotation. So then when we fire off the nuke item with him, he should kill everybody. And then these guys are obviously going to finish off the dregs thanks to the AoE. So especially if we can get like Namek Goku hit on the next turn or something, so he gets the guaranteed additional and we don't have to gamble with the slot 2 or 3 RNG, then we are definitely killing everybody on the next turn. I wonder how much damage Super Vegeta takes, because I know you can't really do damage if you're the wrong typing, but how much damage do they actually like hit for? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because we can stun. So, alright, so Majin Vegeta can get some hits again. It's not going to be enough though. Even if he does get hit, he's only getting hit twice. So I guess we just put you in slot 1 then. So we do this. You'll get a guaranteed additional. So then, yeah, as long as everybody else is supering, we should kill everyone. There should be no way that we don't finish him off, right? Every single unit on the turn is going to kill 1 unit, except for Namek Goku, because he got hit. So he's getting his guaranteed additional super. So he's definitely killing 2 enemies. And then everybody else just has to kill 1. And of course, we could still get the hidden potential, and Namek Goku could attack again. And then I think even my Majin Vegeta, even though he's 55%, he has a level 5 additional skill orb. Alright, there we go. So it's in the bag now. Majin Vegeta and God Goku literally have to kill 1 enemy that has like a quarter of his health left between them. So I think if they didn't manage to do that somehow, I would uninstall the game. There's like no way that that's happening right now. So Majin Vegeta gets the KO. Yeah, 6.2 mil. That's pretty good. Alright, so do we have Vegeta on this rotation? We do. Oh no, this isn't the 2 turns one though. Ooh, this is... Okay. So this isn't the final phase. We have miscalculated somewhat. Now what do I do here? We can use this again, because we're now after the 5 turns. I did say Int was going to be the hardest one. This is... I don't want to use one of the nuking items, because I want to double up on the next turn. Plus, ideally, I actually don't want to kill everybody on this turn. I actually want to leave some of them alive, right? So that we can get the... It's a shame we didn't have... It's a shame we have the Scout of Vegeta on this turn, because obviously, ideally, I would like to get this exact rotation for the final turn, because then Raditz would be getting the 50% support. Because as you can see, he's not really going to hit that hard. How much is he actually going to do? Well, he does about half their health with no crit. I thought that was going to be him additionaling then. As long as we get at least, what, 2 kills on this turn, then we should be okay on the next turn. Vegeta got an additional normal and didn't kill. That is incredibly annoying. Because obviously with the 6-year anniversary LRs, if you get an additional super, it's a guaranteed crit. So, but we should be okay. We got 3 attacks. Namek Goku gets a guaranteed additional again, so we'll be fine. So let us do... That's only 5 orbs. So you've got the most health, so we'll target you, because you're going to get a guaranteed additional. And then we'll target you. And then I guess we might as well use this. It's not like... I mean, if we get to the point where Super Vegeta has to attack and one of the enemies is still alive, we've probably lost, right? Because he doesn't do any damage. So... But Namek Goku getting the guaranteed additional. And of course, Majin Vegeta linked up with Super Vegeta. He's getting a ton of links. So this is by far the longest one. This is by far the most difficult one, for me at least. I don't know if there's like a unit that I completely missed. Int Broly would actually be a really good unit to bring on the team, because he gets the potential ton of additional attacks. You could bring him on the team instead of like... the support Vegeta, I guess, maybe? I mean, his support is very good for Raditz, but... I mean, you saw on that previous turn, even with that support, Raditz wasn't able to kill everyone without the nuking item, so... I guess I don't know. But now, this is where we are going to go off, hopefully. So we're going to active skill with Blue Evolution Vegeta, which, if it doesn't kill everyone, which it actually might do, is the non-crits, I think, not going to kill, maybe. Yeah, perfect. Perfect! So, prepared for battle, showering the limit. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and do... Now, the only problem here, we're very much relying on the RNG. All right, that's not too bad. Come on, give us a bigger connection. There we go. All right, so 15. All right, so Raditz, I would be very, very surprised if Raditz doesn't kill everybody. And then, of course, because we managed to get int orbs for him as well, Blue Evolution Vegeta is going to do a ton of damage. So the int one, definitely the most difficult out of all of them so far. There's just not a lot of really good, reliable AoE units. We managed to get the timing done just right so that we had Blue Evolution Vegeta on this final turn so that we could get that active skill and kill everybody. So there you go. That is the versus tech one done. Definitely the most difficult one, I think. Okay, so for the final stage versus AGL. Now, the friend system kind of screwed me over on this one. There were no good friends whatsoever for this like tech team. So I basically have had to rely on... I'm running this Vegeta as the leader, who is a nuke lead. So 33%, or sorry, 35% after his EZA per tech sphere obtained. So... we're using a friend Grade 8 Vegeta, because obviously he is an AoE unit. Actually, this has worked out quite nicely for... we have no orb changer on this turn, so I'm okay using this here, because it's going to change the int orbs. And then, we can get the 18 key. So that's going to be GG. I don't know why I didn't put the friend in slot 1, because the friend is Rainbow and my Vegeta is 55%. But fortunately, it's only the first turn, so the first phase is going to be very easy. And of course, we got hit in slot 1, so we get the attack buff. 4.1 million, that should be enough for the early term. And that's, remember, with one of the nuke leads. He doesn't even have a secondary leader skill, because obviously he gets the leader skill from the friend Grade 8 Vegeta. Now, I brought both of the tech orb change, like, support units as well. Obviously, if you don't have them, just bring any units that can change a lot of tech orbs. We got the androids on the team, literally just to be here to change tech orbs. So, yeah. So that is what, 4, 5, so that's 6 tech orbs, and that is actually only 5. So even though it's more orbs, oh no, it's picking up the ones in the bottom corner. So actually, yeah, that one is pretty good, so we'll do that. The Tech Margin Vegeta with his EZA, he should be pretty good. The Ghost Usher for the androids is obviously pointless. It's not like we're really taking damage anyway. But yeah, Margin Vegeta should be able to get the KO, thanks to picking up all those tech orbs and having the leader skill from the Vegeta. Although... he's only under 1 million. I guess technically his leader skill, he's only getting the leader skill from the Grade 8 Vegeta. So the Grade 8 Vegetas on this particular build, they're going to be the ones that are going to do all the damage. So the fact that we had both of them on the first turn was a little bit unfortunate, but that does give us the opportunity here to float them off and then get them together, get them on opposite rotations. So if you have the Grade 8 Vegeta, I think that's probably the best strategy here, right, is to just have one on both rotations. If you can find a friend, which obviously, given the state of the friend system at the moment, is not exactly easy. But I think even up to the last phase, Grade 8 Vegeta should just be destroying everyone. Obviously, if you can get hit in slot 1, that's all the better. If you don't have a lot of good tech units, or you don't really have like a lot of great options, but you do have the tech Grade 8 Vegeta, then obviously if you can find a friend, you run him as the leader, so then they're both getting the leader skill. Because obviously on this team, only units on Grade 8 Vegeta's lead are getting his leader skill buff. So let's do... I guess if we float off you now, you could actually come back later, which would be beneficial. So, we'll do that. Do we get the 18 key off of this? We do. Okay, perfect. So we'll do this, and then... perfect. We can get the AoE with you as well. Because the Vegeta is really not going to do a lot of damage. He didn't pick up any tech orbs, and he doesn't get the leader skill from the friend Grade 8 Vegeta. So I'm not really expecting him to do much damage. But if we don't get the kill with the first Grade 8 Vegeta, then obviously I'm hoping that the AoE can maybe finish him off. It's only going to do very minimal damage though. I mean, you can see how little damage the androids did. I mean, this is my first attempt at this stage, and I'm just trying it to see what will happen, because I did not get a good friend whatsoever. I'm just kind of hoping that Grade 8 Vegeta is enough to carry, but it seems like he's doing a good job of it so far. So a lot of it is going to come down to the orbs you pick up. He didn't actually one-shot everybody though on this turn, so is it going to be enough for Majin Vegeta to come in and sweep? I feel like, yeah, their health bar is basically invisible. So Margin Vegeta, look at that. Look at that crazy attack stat from Margin Vegeta. Oof. Big damage. But he got the KO, and that's what's important. So, yeah, it's a shame we ended up with all of the nuking units on basically the same turn. So, let's do... We want to make sure we get all of these tech orbs together, because then Great Ape Vegeta is just going to do insane damage. Yeah, 10 orbs, so he's getting an extra 350% attack, thanks to the... using the Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta as the lead. So he should do a pretty solid amount of damage here. Having the orb changes is obviously always going to be super beneficial. Is this my one? This is my one. Which means this. I think we've timed this perfectly so that then on the final phase we're going to have the Rainbow Friend. And then, yeah, obviously we're just going to pop the nuking items. If there's an attack in slot 1, then we definitely win. But, yeah, look at that. We're basically doing 10 million damage with no crit. So, this team is super scuffed, but... we're doing it, right? Because Great Ape Vegeta is so powerful. Now, if he's actually under the leader skill, Margin Vegeta would be perfectly fine. So, oh, this is going to be so juicy. Okay, so we do this. We don't even necessarily need to do this, but I want to make sure the thingy isn't wasted. So we get rid of the int orbs, then we change some more tech orbs, and we get the extra attack buff, and then we might as well just use the other one. Is it going to change the rainbows? Yeah, there we go. 21 orbs. So not only are we getting the buff from the actual item, but we're getting the buff from the leader skill as well. So yeah, that's going to be all she wrote. We're getting hit in slot 1. Oh my god. What is this attack stat going to be? And the damage here from... this is a Rainbow Great Ape Vegeta friend. And let's see what damage he does here. Alright, of course we're going to get super attacked as well. You get all these pesky flies out of the way, dealing their double-digit damage to me. And then... 21 million attack stat! I think we probably win this turn. What do you think? What damage are we going to do? Okay. 54 million damage crits. Alright, well, I think we're good. 43 million damage if you don't crit, though, mid. Alright, well, there you go. So, Great Ape Vegeta absolutely running roughshod over these guys. I mean, you can see, if you have powerful AoE units, that's how you get it done, right? Most of the units on the team weren't even getting a leader skill other than the 35% attack per tech orb. And we still did it off the back of how strong those AoE units are. So, there you go. Is that all of it done, or did I miss out on any of the missions? I did not. No, I didn't think so, because we got them all done within the turn restriction. So, there you go. That is the event fully completed. 30 stones, a type Kai of every type, 3 Elder Kais, some Zenny statues. The meat items is nice. Special sticker as well. 30 Dozing Kais. I mean, technically none of them could work, but we'll take that. So there you go. That is all the stages done. Let me know down below in the comment section, what teams did you guys use? If you have any recommendations for good units for the event, like other AoE units that I didn't mention, units that get a bunch of additional supers and stuff like that, let us know down below in the comment section. Help each other out with your builds, and hopefully you guys can all get this done. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.